All right, you guys, so let's look at our worksheet from yesterday and we are going to finish up. Let's just really quickly revamp what we had done up until this point. So I'm going to go to my table or Desmos and I'm going to type in my information into a table. All right, and if I hit the zoom, I can see my dots. Okay, and then I'm going to go here. I'm going to do y1 tilde a times b and the exponent x1. All right, and remember, we decided yesterday that our equation, okay, we use y times a y equals a times b to the x, okay, and so down here in my final answer, I'm going to plug in that a value, which is 0.5 or 1/2, and then parentheses, I'm going to put 2 to the x. All right, so there's my equation. So there's my table, and now I have written the equation that goes with that table. Okay, so now let's talk about what happens with these three questions. All right, and how do I use these steps that we've written on the other side of my piece of paper? All right, it says it says if x equals 8, what is y? Okay, and so they're asking you, okay, to figure out what y equals. All right, now normally what we would have done is we would have put x right here, we would have plugged in 8, and then we would have solved it. Okay, but what we can do is we can go over here to Desmos and we can type x equals 8. And you can see another line popped up. So you can see here, so there's the exponential equation. There's x equals 8. Well, these two objects cross, okay? They intersect. So that's when I said yesterday, just find the intersection, okay? And see, when I clicked on the red line or the blue line, see how this little gray dot popped up? This is where they cross, 8 comma 28. All right, so I now have the point 8 comma 128. All right, and remember, points are identified as x comma y. So I now know that when x equals 8, y equals 128. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to say y equals 128. Okay. Now that's the same answer if I had plugged in 3. So if you want to see here, I'm going to plug it into Desmos right here. Okay. If I typed 1/2 parentheses 2 parentheses, exponent, and instead of x, I'm going to write 8. See how I got the exact same answer? I got 128. Okay? All right. So let's go on to our next one. It says number 3. It says if y equals 1/16, what is x? Okay? Well, you can do the same thing if they tell you what y equals. So I'm going to go to y equals, I'm going to type 1/16. Okay? Let me zoom back to my equation. All right, you see here? See how this line popped up? All right, I'm going to go over here just a little bit. I'm going to click on the black line. Okay, see that little gray dot pop up? All right, so this is where they cross. Now look here, it tells me that y equals 0.0625. Well, up here in the point, they rounded that because they just don't put as many digits when they label the point. All right, so now I have the point -3, comma 0.063. All right. Just make yourself a note that that's the same thing as 1/16. Okay. That's a fraction. All right. So again, I have x here, y here. So if y equals 1/16, x equals -3. So x equals -3. Now, if we had taken y equals 1/16 and we had plugged 1/16 in right here, you would have had to solve for x. Well, x is in an exponent. You don't know how to do that. I have not given you any skills to do that, okay? So you're going to utilize a calculator. It's not until you get to math 3 that we're going to teach you how to solve for x when x is in the exponent. So right now we use a calculator. All right, so if you've gotten the idea from problem 2 and problem 3, you probably now see that on problem 4, I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to type in x equals -5. All right. And look here, a blue line, purple line, sorry, has popped up and it crosses right here at -5, comma 0.016. So I'm at -5, comma 0.016. So I know when x equals -5, y equals this decimal. Now I can convert that decimal to a fraction. Okay, so you just go here in Desmos and you type in 0.016. Okay, you look right here next to number 4. It says fraction. Those are your fraction. I click on it, and there it is as a fraction. So I could say 2 over 125. Okay, so y equals one of those. Okay, and I don't care which one you write. So you could say y equals 2 over 125, or you could have put the decimal 0.016. Okay? All right, so now I'm going to come back in another video and I'm going to show you how you can use this idea that we just did if you're given a word problem. Okay? All right, good luck, you guys.